Hello, I'm Aldijana, and I'm so excited to share with you today about the topic of integration and, um, what I've learned this week in relation to integration and share a little bit more about my personal views as well. So, out of all of the different specific roles and titles of Christian counseling, the role I most aspire to become is a professional counselor with a Christian worldview. It is important to me to become professionally licensed in my state, which is the state of Idaho. And out of all of the different roles, the professional counselor with a Christian worldview is one that I resonated with the most due to the requirement of practicing with a license compared to just a Christian counselor who can practice with a credential from an organization such as the AACC. According to Simmons 2020, a professional counselor with a Christian worldview must uphold to the ethics and requirements such as the ACA and KCREP, Simmons 2020, which both requirements are important to me for my own professional development and identity. And Simmons 2020 also concluded that since this role is more secular counseling in a secular counseling environment, a counselor must be aware of the ACA Code of Ethics and be mindful not to impose their faith commitments freely or openly unless it is in a Christian setting or organization and further clearly stated in the informed consent, Simmons 2020. So we learn that it in as a Christian counselor with a Christian worldview, it's important to not impose my faith onto clients unless it is in a Christian setting or organization, and it's clearly discussed in the informed consent. So in our chapter 4 reading, there was a large section that overviewed issues that might be tough to encounter for counselor with a Christian worldview. Some of these include abortion and infidelity, possible suicidal ideations, or demonic possession. Simmons 2020 defined that the most important part from a Christian worldview is that the Christian counselor's beliefs and the Christian counselor's highest ethic is love of God and love of others. Simmons stated that the number one responsibility of counselors is to respect the dignity of their clients and promote the welfare of clients. Clients aren't not issues. They're people who are made in the image of God. Simmons 2020. And I found that the statement that clients are not issues, that they are people made in the image of God. That is so powerful. I find that that sentence is the most impactful statement in the entire chapter or even in the textbook thus far. Because no matter our personal values or our Christian faith commitments, which are both extremely important, the most important piece of the puzzle is to continue to serve with love and acceptance, which is a huge part of the Christian faith, to love and accept each other. But as we have learned in this chapter and previous chapters, we have learned the importance to lean in on supervision and on kind of working with your colleagues. And so when these value-based conflicts arise, you can, be supported with supervision and with working with colleagues when appropriate. There are 3 different integration models we have learned from in our text this week. First is the anti-agnostic model, the intermediate model second, and then the third is the Elias model. The anti-agnostic model used psychology and Christianity as enemies. And according to John MacArthur, who was a pastor, his belief was that scripture was enough to solve any counseling or psychological issues, Simmons 2020. And as I know and believe in the power of scripture, I do challenge this model because I also recognize the benefits of a counseling relationship with counseling methods and theories. And maybe scripture would be very helpful to the client, but based on the client's needs and goals, those needs and goals also have to be a part of counseling. And I do believe with additional counseling with scripture could be very beneficial. So based on that, my personal view aligns well with the Elias model. Simmons 2020 overviewed that the Elias model integrates both psychology and Christianity. Both disciplines can exist and inform and from each other, and a counselor with a Christian worldview would assert that all truth is God's truth, along with psychology, theology, and they can all be intertwined and can be helpful to the client. So based on that ability, that when appropriate in a professional counselor with a Christian worldview, that Christianity, using scripture and counseling theories and methods can be intertwined. I think that is a very powerful model and can be very beneficial for the client and counselor. And according to the code A.4.B of the ACA Code of Ethics, I would say that code really does relate to me as I pursue this degree, because I've always and will always respect and value diversity, and the continuation as a professional to be self-aware and reflective in my work. The ability to not impose my values and attitudes and beliefs and behaviors. It begins with first understanding them for yourself. I recognize that I'm continuing to learn about myself as a person, and I fully accept any change and growth to my own personal development. And this is very important as, we're becoming professionals, understanding your own personal development. Further, I believe that no matter what my values are, those must be set aside, as code A.4.B states, especially when my values are inconsistent with the client's goals. And after truly working on understanding my own values, it's important to continue to be self-aware, as self-awareness is one of the 14 competencies of the ASERBIC. So I will continue to increase my own self-awareness by being able to practice being mindful, and being mindful especially during a counseling session. When a value conflict arises, I can practice the code of A.4.B in the Code of Ethics by not imposing any of my own values or beliefs or behaviors onto clients. So I did want to, kind of end this by saying that we are all human. So it's natural for us to differ and have different experiences and ideas. So because of that, it's important to know and understand your self-awareness and uphold, to kind of separate your personal beliefs from the client's beliefs. And having that self-awareness is key to being able to have that separation, so that you can, best meet the needs and goals of your clients. And I find that to be so important as we continue to grow as professionals, is to continue to grow and learn about ourselves so that we can be helpful and beneficial to others. So as far as integration and what I've learned this week, it's just been so powerful to read the chapter and be able to talk more with you today about what I've learned and kind of relate to, what I will find in my future as a counselor. And I hope this video was beneficial to you, and I look forward to, watching your videos and collaborating more in the future. Thank you so much. Bye.